Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the actual Rook Evolution release, finally. This has been a very long build, a lot of CAD work, and it kind of sums up the Rook ecosystem, I guess, as a whole. I will be finishing off the Rook 180 and then start working on some more 2020 frame printers and updating some of my older 2020 frame printers, but I had a lot of fun kind of experimenting in the realm with printed 3D printers. They seem quite viable. They're not for everyone, but I think they're a pretty cool option for people to get into the hobby, learn Clipper, that type of thing. So this is my fully enclosed Rook Evolution. The files will now be available to everyone who's on Patreon via my mini factory. They'll get a link that they can redeem. And if anyone wants to purchase the files for this printer, you can check out the description below and there'll be a link to purchase. It's about $10 Canadian or $8 US. It's a really cool printer platform to experiment with, mod, mess around with. It's even a cool printer just for PLA if you want to just, print like this, not with the top hat on or the front door on or anything like that. So I wrote down some notes here, so hopefully I won't ramble too much. I have unlocked the Rook Evolution channel on Discord. It's now available to everyone. That was just kind of a early bonus for Patreon subscribers to kind of get an early look at the Rook Evolution and kind of see what's happening in the background and stuff like that. Now that the Evolution is out, I want obviously a channel available to everyone who's wanting to build the Evolution, talk about mods, collaborate with other people on Discord and stuff like that. So the channel is fully unlocked on Discord now. You can see the Rook Evolution channel. Specs for the printer: this is a 150 by 150, 160, 165 on the Z. So it's a good size, it's a very usable size, with still keeping the printer nice and compact. Very happy with that. I'm using a Meanwell 200 watt power supply. That is spec for this printer. It uses the VZ Hextrudort for the direct drive extruder. I have the Mellow one here. The quality is just phenomenal. I was really happy with it. So this is kind of like the default spec. I know there's definitely some people going to be doing some mods on like Orbiter 2s and Sailfin and Sherpa Mini and stuff like that. There's definitely plenty of space to mod those direct drive extruders on there. There is a Bowden option for this as well. So you can actually have the BMG clone in the back here and have a Bowden. For tool head cooling, we're running 4010 layer cooling fans and then a 3010 fan for the hot end. I do recommend GDS Time fans. They have good airflow. I'm running some really crappy fans from Amazon on here. They don't have much airflow. They do barely work, but I would really recommend GDS Time fans. I'm running 10 LEDs, so a strip. I just bought like an Amazon roll of RGB LEDs and I cut 10 of them. So there's 10 individual LEDs here, just basically mounted on an angular mount, and that mount is just secured with VHB tape. Works really well. It projects really nicely into the build area. I was kind of happy with that. So that's really nice to have. For the bed, again, I wanted to keep it simple, so I'm using just a 150 by 150 piece of glass and then a 120 by 120 silicone heater. That is like the cheapest, most accessible way to actually build this printer with this bed. I believe you could definitely modify a salad fork bed to work on this printer. It's the same size, so that's an option for people. It's a little bit weird. It's difficult to find 150 by 150 glass on AliExpress, but on Amazon they're pretty plentiful. I do have the link for the silicone heater that I used on AliExpress on the BOM for this printer. So there's some options there, certainly for people who build a printer, which way you want to go. This has been working great for me, and I'm just using these pads here that are VHB taped to the glass, and I have printed some ABS on this printer, and right now I'm printing PLA out, and it's working fine for me. So for the actual acrylic panels, so this printer is fully enclosable. I kind of just made a quick front door here. It's held together with these two brackets, and then I'm just using hot glue to secure the acrylic panel. These are 8x10 picture frames, so you can get these off Amazon for like $15 for a pack of 5 or something like that. They're very inexpensive, perfect for the Rook Evolution. You don't need to cut anything or anything like that. They are quite difficult to find on AliExpress. The search is just really bad on there, so if you can source these on Amazon, but you might be able to find these at like Walmart or craft stores, just acrylic picture frame windows. It's just magnetic, so it'll actually go on the front here if I can line it up correctly. Works quite nice. And then of course the top hat uses the same 8x10 acrylic picture frame, and then it just goes on the top like this. So fully enclosable, really happy with how it turned out. It's definitely a complicated build, or I shouldn't say a complicated build, it's very involved. So I will warn people, if they are looking to build this, it is definitely a big step up from the Rook as far as a build. Think of the Rook as like a 100-piece Lego set. This is a 1,000-piece Lego set. There's 65 printed parts on this printer. Lots and lots of M3 bolts and nuts. I printed this printer out in all ABS just to make sure all the tolerances and stuff are great. I do recommend printing this out in ABS or ASA. Everything should fit really nice. I did print out the prototype in PLA. I only recommend doing that if this is going to be fully like open without the top hat and stuff like that. If you're just wanting a basic PLA printer, you could print this out in PLA if you wanted to. I do recommend ABS, and especially ABS if you're going to actually enclose it. Default mainboard for this printer is the SKR Mini E3 V3, so there is an included mount for that. The mount is basically just flat on one side, so you can use VHB tape and put it wherever you want in the back electronics compartment, which I will show you here near the end of the video. Most of the parts on this printer for assembly are labeled, so like you'll see in the back here, the rails here will have like a little label on them. The panels will have a label like left front top, or left rear top, left bottom front, left bottom top, that type of thing. Relatively logical. The only parts that don't have labels are unique parts. So like corners, there's only one of each of these corners. They only go in one spot, very straightforward. You can definitely use the CAD to build this. I am also including a build guide, which is basically just an Excel sheet that you can go on, and it breaks all of the files out into stages. So stage 1, you would print out all of the files, which would be the rails and corners, assemble the printer, and then move on to stage 2, print out all the files. That's the easiest way to do it, is just print out a few parts out, assemble, print a few more parts out, assemble. If you print out all the parts at once and then try to just assemble it, it can be done. It's a lot more work trying to figure out what parts go where and stuff like that. Like I say, I did try to label everything, so it's not as bad, but I just want people to be aware of that. I definitely built this as I went, so I would print out some parts, bolt them together, move on to the next parts, print those out, bolt it together. That's kind of the way I prefer to build this. So here is one of my ABS test prints. This is printed out of just Amazon, I think, ABS, black ABS. It printed out very well. Just a afterburner or stealth burner tool head front cover. This is a good benchmark, mechanical benchmark part I usually use. Really good first layer. There's no warping or anything on this. And you can see here the 5015 fan fit in here just nicely. So for chamber temperature, I've done a little bit of testing with the top hat on and the front panel on as far as like temperatures inside. I don't have a chamber temperature sensor, unfortunately. What I did was I had the bed at the very bottom of the printer and I set the bed to 100 degrees and I enclosed the printer and I let it sit for about 20-25 minutes. And internally it got to about 35 degrees. That's measuring from the hot end. So I left the hot end completely off. Bed was at 100 and the inside temperature got at 35 degrees. I think that's pretty great for ABS, and I would suspect that when you're actually printing with the heat from the hot end as well, probably get that around that 40 degree range. And like I say, I was printing out ABS on this printer and this didn't lift or anything like that. I had no problems. I do use glue stick on this bed just for that extra little bit of security. Again, seemed to work just fine. So that's kind of what I've seen for chamber temperatures, that type of thing. It's a single Z motor, just belted Z, kind of similar to the Rook. This is definitely kind of an evolution of the Rook. I've taken a lot of things that I've learned from the Rook and applied them here. The belt system is definitely unique. It's my very first kind of belt path like this. It's a very Voron V0 style belt path. I wanted to maximize the build area of this printer as much as possible without making the printer so big. And I'm actually quite happy with it. I've learned a lot on this printer and I'll carry over a lot of stuff that I learned over to future printers and that type of thing. So yeah, that's a quick rundown on the printer. What I'll do here is I'll power the printer off. We can take a look at the back panel. You can kind of see where all the electronics go and show off a couple other things there. And we can get a couple more close-ups of the printer.
All right, so here is the front skirt. You don't have to print this if you don't want to. I kind of just designed the skirt so you can actually display your serial coin. So I've done something a little bit different with this printer, and when you apply for a serial number on the Discord, I will give you a specialized STL that will print out your serial number coin. This coin will have a unique ID for you only, and it will have your serial number on front. So that's a really cool, I just wanted to make serial numbers a little bit more unique for this printer. So when you do apply for a serial, you'll get a unique coin that's just for your printer. Power supply mounts on the bottom. This is, like I say, a Meanwell 200 watt power supply. This is the optical Z end stop, and then we have our single Z motor. So let's take a look at the electronics. All right, so on the back of the printer here, you have a nice large electronics compartment. A lot of different configurations and scenarios I'm sure people can think of. It's got a lot of space for different types of main boards in here. Again, you only need like a 5-driver board or a 4-driver board. So Picos will fit in here, S-Cara Minis will fit in here, that type of thing. There's room here if you're going to run a solid state relay, if you wanted an AC bed. Plenty of room for wiring and stuff like that. You can see my rat's nest fits in here perfectly fine. Lots and lots of space in the front compartment. So yeah, really happy with having everything kind of self-contained in the back with plenty of room, having the power supply on the bottom. It's a really nice clean build if you take care and actually run your wiring properly, unlike myself. So let's go over the actual surprise now.
All right, here is a nice surprise for everybody. I really like this printer. It's an awesome mostly printed 3D printer. However, I want to give people more options. There are definitely going to be some people who don't want to print a mostly 3D printed printer without a frame and that type of thing. And if someone wants to build this printer, but they're a little bit leery on the mostly 3D printed aspect of it, or maybe they're just looking for something a little bit different, I actually also am going to be releasing this, which I am going to be calling Fortress. This is also included in the files for this as well. So probably in about a week or so, I am going to be updating the My Mini Factory page with the files for Fortress. This is a 2020 frame version of the Rook Evolution. So just like the Rook, I know that there are people out there who are going to want to build a 2020 frame version of this printer. So I have been doing just that, and it is pretty much complete as far as CAD and stuff like that. I want to change a couple things on the Z, just make it a little bit easier to print. Most of the motion system is all from the Evolution. I actually have most of the parts kind of all finished here. So I've made a couple little changes, things like that, to the motion system, but for the most part, I was able to grab 90% of this printer and just transfer it over onto a 2020 frame. So this is really cool. It doesn't need a top hat. There'll just be a fully printed panel on the top here in 4 pieces, just like this one. I really am happy with this. I'm super excited to get back into the 2020 frames. This was kind of like a kickoff, last final kind of feature. So like I say, the files for this printer will be on My Mini Factory probably like in a week or so. I just wasn't able to get this printing in the time for this video, but anyone who purchases this printer or what supported this printer on Patreon, I will be updating the My Mini Factory page, and you will get all the files. They should be included with the purchase. So look out for that in hopefully like a week. Like I say, I pretty much got most everything on this printer printed. I just need to, take all the guts from my other Rook Evolution prototype, put them in here, get it printing, and kind of make sure everything's good for me to release the files. So this is kind of like a special treat for everyone who's basically backed the Rook and was interested in Rook printers and helped grow my channel and stuff like that. So you get 2 printers. Thanks everyone for watching. If you would like to support me on Patreon. There's plenty of different tiers on there. You don't have to support purchasing a printer. You can support a lower tier. Sharing the video, liking the video, commenting on the video really helps a lot. Hoping to get a lot of the funds from this printer back into the channel. Better camera, hopefully mic, an actual table that's not garbage like this, maybe like a rollable workbench, something like that. So again, I appreciate everyone who supported this printer even before it was out. So I wanted to make sure this was as good as it can be. That's why I'm also going to be giving the files for the Fortress as well. So thanks again, everyone, and I'll catch you next time.